Liam Lawson enters the 2024 season with a lot riding on his shoulders as he faces the challenge of proving his talent in a limited number of races. The pressure is intense since his performance could determine whether he secures the highly coveted Red Bull seat in 2025. With Sergio Perez's contract potentially expiring by 2026, rumors are already swirling about his replacement. Dr. Helmut Marko has reignited speculation about Lawson as a strong contender to fill the role. The team has been struggling in the Constructors' Championship, fighting to maintain their position and regain the dominance they once enjoyed. The idea of a young driver replacing Perez seems increasingly plausible. However, can Lawson edge out Yuki Tsunoda to secure his place? Although Perez's future seems shaky, with whispers of an early retirement circulating especially after a cheeky social media post quoting the Wolf of Wall Street, nothing is certain. Marko insists that the team is keeping all options open, re-evaluating their driver lineup for 2025. This is why, despite Lawson's solid performances, Red Bull has not yet locked him in with a contract for next season. Lawson's brief but promising run in 2023 gave fans a glimpse of what he can do under pressure. Across 5 races, 3 saw him finish on par with or ahead of his teammate, Yuki Tsunoda. Lawson even managed to score 2 points in the notoriously difficult Singapore Grand Prix, marking an impressive start to his Formula One career. His potential is undeniable, but he still faces tough competition. Tsunoda, with more experience under his belt, remains a strong contender. Although Yuki's tendency for emotional outbursts over team radio has raised concerns, he has consistently outperformed newer teammates like Pierre Gasly, Nyck de Vries, and Daniel Ricciardo. Marko sees these achievements as a positive signal for Tsunoda's future with the team, which could complicate Lawson's chances. The coming races will be crucial, as Red Bull's management evaluates both drivers to decide who deserves the second seat alongside Max Verstappen in 2025. According to Marko, it's a head-to-head showdown between Lawson and Tsunoda for this prized opportunity. Marko mentioned that a junior driver pairing with Verstappen is not off the table for 2025, and this season's final stretch will determine which direction the team takes. The head-to-head battle between Lawson and Tsunoda becomes all the more intriguing, as both drivers are racing under identical conditions with the same machinery at their disposal. With 6 races remaining in 2024, both have a limited window to prove who can rise to the occasion. Even Red Bull team principal Christian Horner hinted that their current driver situation might not lead to the dream scenario of Verstappen reuniting with Ricciardo as teammates, despite fan hopes for such a partnership. Instead, Horner emphasized that the bigger picture must guide their decisions. The 6 remaining races present an excellent opportunity to compare Lawson's and Tsunoda's abilities side by side. While Lawson may not currently be in direct preparation for the Red Bull seat, his performance with the sister team is being scrutinized carefully. It's not just about AlphaTauri's progress but also how his results align with Red Bull's long-term vision. Meanwhile, Perez remains contracted for 2024, but Red Bull is already looking ahead to what might come next, keeping an eye on other promising juniors who could make the leap to Formula One. Names like Isaac Hadjar or Zane Maloney have also entered the conversation as potential future candidates. However, Red Bull's situation is anything but stable. Even Verstappen's future with the team beyond 2026 is uncertain. Despite being a 3-time world champion, Verstappen himself admitted that it's impossible to guarantee he'll stay with Red Bull indefinitely. With new regulations set to take effect in 2026, the team could find itself in unfamiliar territory. If Verstappen were to leave, the next driver in line would likely inherit not just Perez's seat but the team's leadership mantle, turning Lawson or Tsunoda from promising talents into the face of Red Bull's next chapter. Lawson, aware of what's at stake, is unlikely to sit back and wait for the opportunity to land in his lap. He is fully focused on proving that he deserves a spot in the elite lineup, not just as a Red Bull driver but potentially as the team's future leader. Red Bull's struggle for performance extends beyond their main team. AlphaTauri's own underwhelming form adds another layer of difficulty. For Lawson and Tsunoda, delivering results under these challenging circumstances becomes a true test of their resilience and adaptability. While the opportunity to replace Perez is a daunting task on its own, Lawson and Tsunoda face additional challenges that are beyond their control. The cars they're driving have struggled with performance issues throughout the season, making it hard to deliver the kind of results the team expects. If the two drivers cannot push the machinery to its limits, the pressure will only intensify. It's not just about outdriving each other, they'll also need to contend with a car that seems flawed from the outset. Situations like these often reveal a driver's true potential, and in the coming weeks we're likely to see a fierce battle unfold between Lawson and Tsunoda. As Red Bull fights to secure a respectable finish in the Constructors' Championship, their junior drivers are racing not just for pride but for their future in Formula One. AlphaTauri is under threat of losing ground to teams like Haas, who are also targeting 6th place in the standings. The underperformance of the car now plays a crucial role in determining the future driver lineup. For Lawson, these final races offer the perfect platform to prove that he's not just good enough for a Red Bull seat, but also capable of becoming a leader within the team. At the same time, the competition for the coveted seat remains fierce. There's talk that even drivers outside the Red Bull ecosystem, such as George Russell, could be considered as Perez's successor. Russell's current contract situation, with no clear extension beyond 2026, has fueled speculation. Although Mercedes has publicly reaffirmed its commitment to Russell, rumors persist that Red Bull might explore external options. This move, however, seems unlikely given Red Bull's deep pool of young talent. Interestingly, Tsunoda remains in a somewhat awkward position within the Red Bull system. While he's closely associated with the team, his connection primarily stems from Honda's involvement. This link raises questions about whether he will receive the same opportunities as drivers nurtured directly through Red Bull's academy. Regardless of these complications, Tsunoda remains eligible for promotion under his current contract. Red Bull's philosophy has long been centered on giving young drivers a shot at the highest level of the sport. Marco cited the success stories of Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Daniel Ricciardo as prime examples of the team's youth-focused approach. Other teams are starting to adopt a similar strategy, with Mercedes grooming Antonelli, Haas backing Behrman, and Williams preparing Zach O'Sullivan for Formula One. Even Audi has shown serious interest in bringing Mick Schumacher back to the grid, demonstrating that the competition for young talent is more intense than ever. One reason why many believe Lawson stands out as the ideal successor to Perez is Red Bull's hesitation to promote Tsunoda, despite his occasional stellar performances. Even when Tsunoda outshined Nick de Vries early in the 2023 season, the Japanese driver was never seriously considered for a Red Bull promotion. Much of this reluctance stems from Tsunoda's inconsistent behavior on team radio, where his emotional outbursts have raised concerns. Red Bull fears that in high-pressure situations these outbursts could disrupt communication, especially when critical feedback about the car's performance is required. Tsunoda himself has acknowledged this as an area where he needs improvement. He has openly stated that providing engineers with precise feedback during messy sessions has been a challenge for him. However, he's working closely with Ricciardo to refine this skill, learning how to relay car issues more effectively. In Formula One, accurate feedback is essential for making quick adjustments to the car. Without it, even the most talented driver can find themselves struggling to remain competitive. Lawson, on the other hand, seems to possess the maturity and composure needed to handle these demanding situations. Although he only had 5 races to showcase his abilities, many experts believe his performances were among the best ever seen from a young driver in such a short span. Yet the competition doesn't stop there. Drivers like Franco Colapinto have already made significant strides, with the Argentinian scoring more points in just his second Formula One race than Lawson managed in his initial outings. This illustrates the kind of intense rivalry Lawson faces, not just from within Red Bull's system, but from the wider pool of emerging talent. Adding to the challenge, Lawson will have to contend with 3 sprint events in the remainder of the season compact weekends that leave little room for error. To make matters worse, his campaign is set to begin on a difficult note, as the team plans to take a grid penalty for an engine change in Austin. Starting the race from around 18th on the grid, Lawson's task won't be measured purely by points. Instead, his ability to outshine Tsunoda under such difficult circumstances will serve as a benchmark for his potential to thrive under pressure. If Lawson struggles to deliver and Perez continues to underperform, there's even the possibility that Daniel Ricciardo could make a full-time return to the Red Bull lineup. While this scenario seems unlikely given Red Bull's current direction, Christian Horner has hinted that surprises could be in store for 2025, possibly reshaping the driver lineup in ways no one anticipated. The team's recent moves suggest a significant shift could be coming, with both internal and external candidates being evaluated closely. As the 2024 season nears its conclusion, Red Bull's driver lineup for the future remains anything but certain. Lawson and Tsunoda are in a race against time, each trying to prove they have what it takes to be part of Red Bull's next chapter. However, if the cars continue to underperform, The driver's ability to adapt and deliver results will become the ultimate test of their resilience. Both young talents understand that landing a Red Bull seat isn't just about speed, it's about handling pressure, offering insightful feedback, and seizing every opportunity, no matter how tough the circumstances. Even with Perez's contract running through 2024, Red Bull's leadership isn't content to wait. They need to make decisions soon to stay ahead of the competition. Whether that future involves promoting Lawson or sticking with Tsunoda, one thing is clear: Red Bull's next leader might already be within their ranks. Yet, with external contenders like George Russell still in the conversation, the competition remains fierce. In the coming races, the story of Lawson versus Tsunoda will continue to unfold, giving fans a closer look at who truly deserves a place at the top. Both drivers have shown glimpses of brilliance, but now they must deliver consistently to leave a lasting impression on the Red Bull hierarchy. The 2025 season could mark the beginning of a new era for the team, with either Lawson or Tsunoda stepping into the spotlight. The road ahead won't be easy, but these challenges often bring out the best and exceptional drivers. Whether Lawson can rise to the occasion and secure his spot in Formula One's elite ranks, or whether Tsunoda will defy expectations and cement his place, remains to be seen. Either way, the decisions made in the coming months will shape Red Bull's future potentially for years to come. Who do you think deserves the Red Bull seat in 2025? Is Lawson ready to become the next big star, or will Tsunoda prove that he has grown enough to take on the challenge? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, click on the video appearing on your screen right now for more exciting F1 content.